Hi, this is George Alger. Welcome to today's segment of Our Ventura TV. Today we're going to be speaking about one person's journey with cancer. And joining us today is Edward Knighton. Welcome, Ed. And let's just open this up by, establishing a framework here. Could you just briefly describe what kind of cancer you've survived and how did you even find out about it, or when did it start?
Yeah, George, thanks for having me on the show. In late 2017, I had a growth on the top of my head, and I actually had a misdiagnosis in saying that the doctors said it was not cancer. And this growth on the top of my head continued to grow. And I knew at that time that I had to, get it rechecked by a dermatologist. And in fact, it was cancer. So, part of my message is, especially with skin ailments, is to have, consistently checked out if you have any sort of growths or anything like that. Unfortunately, in my situation, the cancer is melanoma and it metastasized to my lymph nodes. So that was a very scary part of it, because otherwise, cancer, you can have, something just removed and it's not that big a deal. You take care of yourself. But in my case, it was I've had 44 lymph nodes removed and I've had 2 surgeries to do that.
All right. Now, what are your thoughts about medical treatments versus natural or alternative treatments?
Yeah. In order to answer that question, I'd have to start with just getting the diagnosis of cancer is so frightening. And to know your next steps when there's so many different remedies to take, and many different thoughts of how to heal. There's the alternative way through detoxing, through diet, that allows your body to heal itself. And then there's the more traditional route of chemotherapy, immunotherapies, surgeries. And in my situation, it was just, I wanted to heal. I wanted to get back to a normal life and be productive and be just winning in life. And again, that's why I'm here, more just to tell my story, how I'm doing great now. I've had a clear scan and I've had both treatments. I've had alternative treatments and I've had surgery and some cancer drugs to help me. Yeah.
All right. Now, are you, when we're talking about cancer or approaching this as a cancer survivor, are you completely cured of cancer or is this still something that's an ongoing thing?
Yeah. So I can say that I've had a clear scan, and that's how I've tested it. And now in January, I'll have another scan to see if I'm clear. In the medical world, for the rest of my life, I will always be monitored. And there is, the idea that we have cancer cells in our bodies, they've just not exercised or been metastasized or are growing in your body. So according to my oncologist, I will be checked the rest of my life.
All right.
Yeah.
And how has, your experience with cancer impacted other areas of your life?
I would say in every area, from, my close family relationships to vocationally to psychologically. And, it gives you an appreciation for life, that old saying to find the uh, extraordinary in the ordinary. And that's something that's been done. I just appreciate life. I appreciate walking up a flight of stairs, being able to breathe oxygen, having doing some light exercise. the time spent with family is so meaningful. So I appreciate life, and I'm grateful to be alive.
Well said. Now, how much of your life was involved with addressing the cancer? Is that something you had to deal with every day, or it's once a week, or a couple times a month?
Yeah, in my case, when I was diagnosed and given the choice to have an infusion, and it wasn't chemotherapy for the type of cancer I had, it was oncology drugs. I was told that I would have a 97% chance of side effects. That means internal swelling of my organs, rashes, muscle weakness, headaches. So the list just went on. So at that point, I decided to do a protocol with the Gerson, Gerson, Gerson Center in Tijuana. And that program consisted of 12 organic juices per day, organic food supplements, and a way to detox your body. So I did that program, and it was phenomenal. I felt so strong, was on the mend, and I was so dedicated to it and really got great results. But cancer is a thing where we don't know when it's going to come back, or why it comes back, or how it comes back. But in my case, it did come back. And it was so difficult. I felt like such a failure in doing my organic protocols. But I've had some time now to think about that. And because of that program, I credit that program that I'm doing so well now. The cancer came back, and I did have a surgery, and I did have more of the cancer medicines. But I didn't abandon the Gerson program. I still do intensively once a year for a month. I do the whole program, and I do my best to have a plant-based diet in my daily life. So it's not something that I totally abandoned. And just for your viewers, I wanted to let them know that whatever route you take, keep researching. It's okay to try different avenues until you decide what you're most comfortable with for your healing process. And there's been success and failures on both sides, in the organic alternative way, and success and failures in the more traditional treatments.
All right. Now, you've gone through some changes in your diet, as you've mentioned. How would you compare then your overall health today as to, let's say, 2017 or before you had the cancer?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My doctors say that I'm very, very healthy. And it comes down to that basic idea. When I'm eating well, when I'm feeding my body the proper nutrients, the proper foods, I am at a level that is comparable to the time before I had cancer, previous to cancer. Our bodies are complex machines that, when fueled properly, they will perform.
Good. And since we all seem to know someone who's going through cancer, and maybe several people, do you have any advice on how family members or friends can speak to people who are going through cancer?
Yeah, to give them space, to give them space to go through their own process. When we're close to people who love us, sometimes their viewpoints can be thrust upon us because they want us to live and thrive. But it may not be the individual's choice of how they want to be treated, how they want to take care of their body. And I would just simply give your loved ones space so that they can make their own decision in terms of how they want to be treated.
Well said. Thank you very much, Ed. We're out of time here, so I'm going to wrap things up.
Okay. Thank you, George.
This is George Alger signing off for this segment of Our Ventura TV. Until we meet again.